Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I want to use this platform to introduce to you the new BVR that is going to be used for the voters registration this year. So the essence of the video is to introduce the kit and how to set up at the various registration centers as an operator. So like you are seeing in front of me, this is how the kit that we are going to use for the voters registration 2020 is going to be. Now, when you get the kit at your center, first of all, you are supposed to get a firm and flat table. A table that is firm when it is standing with a flat surface. So when you get your kit, you make sure in positioning the kit, you consider where you are going to sit to work as an operator. Now, in looking at the kit, you will see that there is a power input button. So when you want to put the device, the kit down to open, you make sure that part will go down, or that part sits on your table. Or better still, the kit is having a clamp that you can use to open. Let the opening part of the clamp go down, face the table. But depending on where you are going to sit, it means when I open the lid will have to go to my far front, which will become very difficult for me to set up. So you have to make sure the clamp will go to your far front, so that when you open it, the lid will come towards you. Because when you open, you see that the laptop is positioned on the lid. And then you lift the lid. You have seen that, like I said earlier, the laptop is located on the lid. So that is why I expect that when you are opening, you open it from your far front so that the lid will come towards your immediate front. Now, when you look inside the lid, you will see that we have some two lid supports. You take them from the lid. Now, when you look at the back of the lid, there are some two horizontal holes with size being bigger than the other. So you make sure you fix the lid at the larger parts and push it to fix the smaller parts. You do the same for the other side. I hope you have seen it. So now, like the position you want to sit, you just turn and make sure the lid will sit on the table with the lid support. So this is going to be what you are going to see inside the kit when you open it. So you take your manual from the kit. Now the manual is there to assist you in your operations. In case you forget something quickly, you can refer to the manual and then refresh your memory as to how to operate the kit. Now, looking at where we have the laptop, you just press the laptop small and hold, there is a cable there, you hold it and drag your laptop to your far front. You will hear a sound telling you that the laptop is well fixed there. Now, you can also see the camera side of the laptop. So you just lift the camera and turn the face to your right side. Very good. Now, when you go to the other side of the kit, you are going to see a sponge. Now, the sponge is in to give the fingerprint scanner a height for you to get a successful scanning of fingerprints. So you go to where you have your scanner and lift the scanner up, and then you place the sponge inside. Then you position your scanner on the sponge. You have seen that now our sponge has given the fingerprint scanner a height. That height is going to help in getting the scanning of fingerprints successfully. Now you also have the printer that you will use to print the various reports. That is the start of day report, the end of day report, or registrations report. And at the same time, it is the printer that you use to print the voter ID card or the voter's information on the Form 1C. So you just open to make your printer ready for work. Now you are also going to see possibly 3 pen drives or USB flash drives. Now the flash drives are in there. They are what you are going to be using in backing up and doing transfer of the various registrations you are going to do. Now you can open your laptop to make it also ready to start your day's activity. Now looking at the positions of the various components I mentioned, you realize that the applicant is supposed to sit at the right hand side of you, the operator, because that is where the camera is facing. Though you can tilt it anyhow, but then when you place the applicant at your right hand side, you are going to get a successful work throughout your registration processes. So when you get to the center, this is how you are supposed to set up with respect to the use of the new BVR Kit we are going to use for the voters registration this year. Now, when you come to the laptop, you are going to see only 3 cables connected to the laptop. This cable that has been color-coded mauve is for the camera, and it is going to be in one of the USB ports you have on the laptop. Now, when you go to the other side of the laptop, you are going to see the power cable connected to the laptop. That is the source of power to the laptop from the battery. I will introduce the battery to you now. And I also have another cable that has been color-coded orange. That one is the USB hub that is in the kit. So the cable for the USB hub in the kit is the one that has been color-coded orange. And the cable for the printer and the fingerprint scanner are directly connected to the USB hub we have in there. So the moment you power your laptop, the USB hub inside there will give power access to the printer and the fingerprint scanner. Now, in between the camera and the fingerprint scanner, we have our battery. I would say the power bank. That is the source of power to the kit throughout the registration processes. It is having a power button that when you press for about 10 seconds and release your finger, it will turn on the battery or the power bank, making it ready to produce the other components with power source. Now, behind the printer, you are going to see your voltage protector. When you are charging, you are supposed to connect this to the main power source and regulate it before you insert the power cable of the kit. So that's the power cable. So before you charge the battery, you are supposed to put the power voltage protector into the power source, or say the surge protector into the power source before you insert the power cable of the the kit. Now, look at this location. Like I said earlier, before you open, you make sure where we have the power input is located downwards. That is going to help you to be able to open the lid. Now, that is where we charge our kit from. So, looking at the cable I have, when you want to charge, you just fix the cable or the cord in the port you have there and screw it till it tightens before you give it a power, or you insert your power set and the power cable into the power source to be able to charge it. So let us demonstrate how to charge our kit. You first of all insert the power surge into the power source, and then you switch it on. Now, you see that if the light is blinking like this, it means it's not stable. In order to stabilize it, you have to press this button, and then it will stabilize. Then you insert your power cable. Now let's go to the kit and see what happens there. You see that there are some two indicators. The down indicator is telling us that the power bank can supply the laptop with enough power. There is enough power in the power bank to supply the laptop to be able to work. Now the top one, you see that is in red. It is telling us that our power bank is charging. So when it is green and standing still, it is telling us that our power bank is fully charged. It has gotten to 100%. Now come and see from the power bank. You see that it is charging, and the percentage we are having now is 53%. So as it charges, the percentage increases till it gets to 100%. When it gets to 100%, then the indicator here, the one at the top, the indicator at the top will also turn to green and stand still. Good, so cartridges. With that one, I cannot give you the number, but with respect to what you are going to see, definitely there are going to be spare cartridges in the kit, the color and black. They are there in case you are working with a printer and they realize that your cartridges are finished. You just replace them with the spare ones you have. And I also see the two bag. I expect that we, the operators, we wouldn't go and make any use of the two bag. Leave the use of the two bag to your various technicians that will be coming around when the need arises. Introduce you to how you are going to open and set up for your registration to be able to start with respect to the use of the new BVR kit. Now, we are also going to take you through how to pack when your day's activities are over. Now, before you pack the components, you are supposed to do some of the end of day proceedings. That is, after printing the end of day report or registration report, the doing of transfer and then backup. You are supposed to pack all the other components or all the components in position, unpacking or setting up. We are also going to take you through, or I'm going to introduce you to how to put all the other components in position when your day's work is over. So when we were setting up, I presumed that our battery was low. I showed you how to charge the battery. So now, presuming our battery is full or we are about closing, you just unplug your power surge and the power cable. You realize that before we were able to charge, we screwed the cable to the power input. Now you unscrew it to be able to remove it. Other than that, if you don't unscrew it, you cannot pull the input. So you just unscrew it, making it loose, and then you just bring your cable out like that. Now you fold your cable nicely in order to prevent breakages. Nicely. And place it at the position that you picked it from in the morning. And then you put back your power surge. You just switch off your printer and then you close the cover. Now you switch off the laptop and then you make sure the camera will go back to the position you picked it from. And in doing so, you make sure where you have the lens will go down. Then you come back to where you have the fingerprint scanner. Now you see that we supported the fingerprint scanner with a sponge to give it height. So similarly, you leave the fingerprint scanner and take the sponge out of that position, and then you place the fingerprint scanner to its original position, and make sure you. Now every component is off, including the laptop. So you just close the laptop gently, and then when fixing it, you tilt it this way and make sure it locks. Very good. Now you make sure the power bank tool is off. You switch it off before you cover the kit. So upon lifting it, you realize that in the morning you supported it with the lid support. So you make sure you remove your lid supports, and then you put them back in position where you picked them from in the morning. And then gently, in the morning, you pick a manual from the kit. You put it back in the kit, and gently you close the kit. Then you make sure you lock the clamps. You cover the input source, and then you pick your kit and send it to the safer place where you are going to keep it. Thank you very much. Reporting from Bono East.
So this presentation was presented by Alphonse Apreku, one of the top trainers for Bono East. Our cameraman is Seri, one of the key trainers for Atebu, Amantin District. Directed by Elliot from Kintampo, produced by Aferios from the Senate East.
And all the colleagues. Hey, everybody, watch some.
From the guys of Bono East, we say
give away
the video.
Yeah.
And make use of it.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
Social distance is important. Our executive producer is the regional director for Bono East, Mr. Gabriel J. Yabua, and then assisted by his deputy, Mr. Anthony Kwame Nyame.
Remember, social distancing. Stay safe. Corona is real.